we have? First rates coming through. The indication, of course, early on at 8 in the morning was about a 60-65 point cut. In the pre-open as well, the indication is about a 0.4-0.5% lower start. So we'll see. We'll pick up from there. 26,061 is where the pre-open left off at. But the first rates around the 26,100 level on the Nifty, 85,300 on the Sensex is what you have. So that's about a 1/3% lower on those two. Mid-cap index is starting down about 1/4%, 60,271. And as always, the IT services index comes up with a meaningful move. So the meaningful move today is down about 1% lower, nearly 1% down, 41,940 or so. So that's the IT services index. And take a look at the heat map overall. I mean, many more down as compared to up. That's essentially what you've got. So about 38 odd names, 35 odd names lower, 2 unchanged, and you've got and the rest which are trading up, or at least starting up at 9:15 this morning. Surabhi.
Okay, let's look at the individual movers and shakers. First, the company that we were just speaking with, actually, PB Fintech. Some recovery on the price again. The damage was quite severe in the last couple of sessions. There was some recovery on Friday, and it's continuing today, about 3% on the higher side. But anyway, let's look at the larger market move, the 100-point cut on the Nifty. To start off with, the bank Nifty is actually leading things on the way down with a cut of about 0.5%. So the banking pack is not really helping matters much. Aside of that, Hero MotoCorp, Tech Mahindra, these are some of the weaker names. Reliance is down 1%. So that's cooling off. A lot of IT selling going on right now. Tech Mahindra is not alone. Infosys, Wipro, TCS, all the large cap IT names are on the way down. So banks and IT put together, not really very inspiring for the bulls this morning. However, on the upside, it is that metals rally. Remember, even Manisha was talking about it. Prices, I mean, base metal, ferrous metal prices, they've been going through the roof on the China stimulus, and that is continuing to percolate down into stocks. It was the best performing part of the market last week, and that trend continues. Hindalco, JSW Steel, and even the names beyond it, names like Vedanta, SAIL, Nalco, all of them are up and about. So metals pretty strong, banks and IT slightly weak. Mid-cap's absolutely flat for now.
Well, that's right. And you have, iron ore prices that are flying up. So NMDC, that's the core play on iron ore. So that stock is up close to 4.5%. And we here at CNBC-TV18 have been making this point on Vedanta. It's not for the faint-hearted, but if you're going to get a Chinese stimulus, if you're going to get Fed rate cuts, then that's the best way to play it. And I think the stock from there, it was at around that 450, 440 odd level. Didn't do anything much for a long time, but it's given dividend of close to 24 rupees odd. And after that as well, the stock is up more than 15% from those levels. So that's been one of the big plays out there. Colgate is another stock from the frontline names that's up close to 2.5%. So big move is what we're seeing out there. Tata Chemicals is another one that's up close to around 2.5%. What's not doing too well? NCC has seen some profit taking from the recent peak. That's down 2.5%. TVS Motors well is down close to around 2%. From the broader markets, Reliance Infra, the stock has seen a big surge in trade volumes as well as rather high, because the Kolkata High Court has ruled in their favor with regard to an arbitration order. So that's one of the top volume movers in today's trading session. What else is doing well? A couple of smaller names. Vakrangi is up close to around 11%. I don't know whether there's any news flow. That's one of the top volume movers out there. And Z Media is another one that for this month, it's up close to around 60%. Well, I think they've announced some fundraise out there a couple of days ago. So that's another one that's moving well. All in all, the market's a little bit down, 80 points lower, but I think par for the course after the kind of rally that we've seen. Prashant.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got what, a 90-point cut now coming through, and that's the sort of state of affairs. Just a few other names before we bring in our market guest. PB Fintech is already giving up gains. It's about 1660 or so, about 1.5% higher is all that's left. What else? I mean, there is NMDC, as you said, Nigel, 4%. That's the biggest volume-led gainer right now on the NSE. Reliance Infra, 2.5% higher, but that one has been a rocket. I mean, from 200 to 300 in what, 3 or 4 days flat, and it's starting another 2.5 higher right now. We've got LT Foods, which is up about 3.5%. Volumes actually on the, at least with stocks which are up, not very much. I mean, tapering off, at least at start, not a very big volume-led day. Reliance Power, again, another rocket. It's down about 4% this morning, 45. It's the biggest volume-led gainer by far. Hero MotoCorp with a 2% cut is at number 2 position in terms of volume-led losses. Phoenix Limited, the mall operator, 5.5 lower, 1757 on Phoenix Limited. 70, so that's got tremendous volumes as well. And you can go down to JSW Energy, RITES, the recent listing Cross and Bharti Hexacom, and so on and so forth. So that's essentially some of what is coming through. Surabhi?
And we have to check on the new entrants in the Nifty, right? For what it's worth, I mean, just to mark it.
Yeah.
Trent is in. It's been a massive wealth creator. Today it's down about 0.1, 0.2%. Doesn't matter, but what a journey. And now it makes its way to the Nifty 50. And of course, BEL is keeping it company. BEL is down. All of PSUs are down. There's a general cool-off on across the board. Railway PSUs, defense PSUs, SJV, and a lot of PSUs are down, including BEL. 2 new names on the Nifty.
It's a running joke between me and our producer, Anurag, about I really want to go to Zudio.
When will you do it, Rajat?
But I've not been able to, but hopefully, right? I mean, that's essentially the big driver for this one. Really, so many sell-side brokers have covered the stock for years, have sort of said it on record that, well, we got this wrong. And we did not get this in terms of what a powerful engine Zudio's turned out to be for Trent.